Hello, how can I assist you with your English today?
Hi, I'm struggling with English. How do I improve my vocabulary?
Vocabulary is essential. Try reading English books or listening to podcasts. What's your favorite genre?
I like mysteries. Any book recommendations?
Absolutely. You can start with classic mysteries like Sherlock Holmes. It's both fun and challenging.
Thanks for the tip, but sometimes I can't understand native speakers. How can I get better at that?
Don't worry, it takes time. Try watching English movies with subtitles and practice listening daily.
Sounds doable. I often confuse there, and there. Can you explain the difference?
Certainly. There shows possession, there indicates a place, and there is a contraction for they are.
I see now. Can you suggest some fun ways to practice English every day?
Of course. Try labeling objects around your house in English or keeping a journal. Makes learning engaging.
Great ideas. English grammar confuses me. Any simple rules I should remember?
Start with the basics, like subject-verb agreement and articles, a, n, the. Practice them in sentences.
Thanks. I get nervous when speaking English in public. Any tips to boost my confidence?
It's normal to feel nervous. Join conversation clubs or practice with friends. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become.
I'll give it a shot. What's the best way to learn English slang and informal expressions?
Slang can be fun. Try watching TV shows or movies. Slang often appears in casual conversations.
I love movies. Any favorites you'd recommend?
Sure, for humor, Friends is great, and for drama, Breaking Bad. Both will expose you to various slang.
Awesome. I sometimes struggle with word pronunciation. How can I improve that?
Pronunciation apps can help. Practice regularly, and don't be afraid to mimic native speakers.
I'll start right away. How do I choose the right tense when speaking or writing?
Tenses can be challenging. Focus on one tense at a time, starting with the present. Master it before moving on.
I see. English writing feels overwhelming. Can you simplify the process for me?
Of course. Start with an outline, write clear topic sentences, and remember to proofread your work.
Proofreading is tricky. What's the best way to catch errors in my writing?
Read your writing out loud. It helps identify mistakes and awkward sentences.
Good tip. I often get stuck in conversations. How can I respond more fluently?
Practice common phrases and questions used in conversations. You'll find yourself responding more naturally.
I'll work on that. Can you explain the difference between fewer and less?
Certainly. Fewer is used with countable nouns, fewer apples, and less is for uncountable nouns, less water.
Thanks for clearing that up. I sometimes misuse prepositions. Any simple way to get them right?
Practice makes perfect. Pick a preposition each week and learn its common uses. It will become a habit.
I'll try that. Can you suggest any English websites or apps that can help me learn?
There are plenty. Duolingo, Babbel, and Memrise are great apps to start with. They make learning interactive.
Sounds exciting. How can I avoid getting bored while learning English?
Explore topics that interest you. Whether it's travel, cooking, or science, learning is more enjoyable when it's about something you love.
I'll find English resources related to my hobbies. What are some common mistakes I should be aware of?
Watch out for double negatives, using literally too often, and sentence fragments. These are common mistakes to avoid.
Good to know. English is vast. Where should I begin if I want to learn more about American culture?
Start with American books or movies. You'll gain insights into American culture while improving your language skills.
Perfect. How can I build my confidence to speak English in job interviews?
Practice common interview questions and answers. Mock interviews with friends can boost your confidence.
That's a great idea. I often find reading boring. How can I make it more interesting?
Choose books or articles that relate to your interests or career. It will make reading more engaging.
I'll look for something I'm passionate about. How do I know if I'm progressing in English?
Track your progress. Set language goals and review them regularly to see how far you've come.
Progress tracking sounds effective. I get confused with articles, like A and N. Any tips to get it right?
Focus on the word's initial sound. If it's a vowel sound, use an. If it's a consonant sound, use a.
Thanks for the rule. Can you explain the difference between it's and its?
Certainly. It's is possessive, the cat and its collar. It's is a contraction of it is, it's a lovely day.
I'll remember that. English verb tenses are tricky. How can I choose the right one in a sentence?
Start by focusing on the present, past, and future tenses. As you become comfortable, you can explore more.
Simplifying it is helpful. How can I improve my English reading comprehension?
Read shorter texts first, like newspaper articles. Then gradually move on to longer and more complex ones.
I'll start with shorter materials. Can you explain when to use any, some, few, and a few?
Any and some are used in positive sentences. Few and a few refer to a small quantity, but few is often negative.
Thanks for the explanation. I sometimes confuse affect and effect. Can you clarify the difference?
Of course. Effect is a noun, the effect of the music, and affect is a verb, the music affects my mood.
I'll remember that. What's the best way to improve my listening skills in a foreign language?
Listen to podcasts or audiobooks. They're great for training your ears and improving comprehension.
I like the idea of listening to podcasts. How can I stay motivated to learn English every day?
Set achievable goals and reward yourself when you reach them. It will keep you motivated and disciplined.
Rewards sound fun. How can I use music to enhance my language learning?
Listen to English songs, read the lyrics, and sing along. It's an enjoyable way to improve pronunciation and vocabulary.
I'll try that. How do I distinguish between hear and listen in sentences?
Hear is involuntary, I hear a noise, and listen is active, I'm listening to music.
Thanks for the simple explanation. Can you explain the difference between speak and talk?
Certainly. Speak refers to producing sounds, I can speak English, while talk is a conversation between people, let's talk about it.
I see the distinction now. What's the best way to remember irregular verbs?
Create flashcards with the verb, its past tense, and past participle forms. Review them frequently.
Flashcards sound helpful. How can I use technology to learn English more effectively?
Use language learning apps or online courses. They offer interactive and engaging lessons.
I like using apps. What are some common mistakes English learners make while writing essays?
Common mistakes include run-on sentences, improper use of transitions, and not proofreading thoroughly.
Thanks for the tips. How do I maintain a study routine without burning out?
Schedule regular breaks, and vary your study materials. It keeps the learning process fresh and enjoyable.
Breaks and variety sound good. How can I remember and use complex words I've learned?
Practice using these words in sentences. The more you apply them, the more likely they are to stick.
I'll incorporate them into my daily speech. How do I tackle English literature with its rich vocabulary and themes?
Start with abridged or simplified versions of classic literature. This way, you can grasp the themes before diving into the originals.
That sounds manageable. I often misspell words. Any tricks to improve my spelling?
Spelling apps or games can make learning fun. You can compete with friends to see who gets more words right.
A friendly competition is motivating. How can I make writing in English less daunting?
Begin with short paragraphs or journal entries. Gradually build up to essays. It will be less intimidating.
Short paragraphs sound doable. What should I do if I don't understand a particular word when I'm reading?
Keep a dictionary handy, or use dictionary apps on your phone. It's an excellent way to expand your vocabulary.
A dictionary app is practical. I struggle with different English accents. How can I improve my listening skills in that regard?
Diversify your listening materials to include various accents, such as British, American, and Australian. This will help you adapt.
Thanks for the advice. I often find phrasal verbs confusing. How can I tackle them?
Phrasal verbs can be tricky, but practice makes perfect. Start with commonly used ones and expand from there.
I'll focus on the basics first. How do I remember the meanings of idiomatic expressions?
Study idioms in context. For example, watch movies or read books where these expressions are used.
I'll do that. How can I better understand the culture and context behind English idioms?
Research the origins of idioms. Many have fascinating stories that make them easier to remember.
That sounds interesting. How can I express myself more eloquently in English?
Enhance your vocabulary with synonyms and practice using them in different sentences.
I'll make a list of synonyms for common words. What's the best way to remember irregular plurals?
Create flashcards with the singular form on one side and the plural on the other. Test yourself regularly.
Flashcards are quite versatile. Can you clarify the difference between into and into?
Into is used when talking about motion or change. I walked into the room. Into separates in as an adverb and to as a preposition. I turned it into the teacher.
Thanks for breaking it down. How can I improve my English speaking fluency?
Find a language partner or conversation group. Regular interaction will help improve your fluency.
I'll search for a language partner. Can you suggest some activities to make learning English fun?
Play word games like Scrabble, do crossword puzzles, or write short stories to make learning enjoyable.
Word games do sound fun. How can I understand English jokes and humor better?
Watch English comedians and sitcoms. This will help you pick up on humor and cultural references.
I love a good laugh. How do I work on my English handwriting?
Practice cursive writing, especially by copying out paragraphs from books. This will improve your handwriting over time.
That's a unique idea. How can I use English more effectively in my career or job interviews?
Tailor your vocabulary to your profession, practice industry-specific conversations, and learn how to write professional emails.
It's useful to apply it to my career. How can I expand my English speaking network?
Attend language meetups or join online forums to connect with English speakers worldwide.
Please subscribe to our channel and share this video with a friend. Support our channel by joining us or clicking the super thanks button would mean a lot. Thank you for your valuable support and take care.